It's 12 o'clock, and you're watching KCCI Channel 8 Des Moines, Iowa's news leader, with Molly Cooney, Jason Hoffman, and meteorologist Mike Lozano. This is News Channel 8.
One day after voting to begin an impeachment inquiry, both Congress and the President get back to work trying to pass legislation to keep the government running. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Molly Cooney.
And I'm Jason Hoffman. Members of the House of Representatives want to get back to their districts to work on getting reelected.
The President is sticking to his official schedule as well. Meanwhile, the partisan rhetoric continues. Lee Cowan has the latest from Washington.
Time has expired, the gentleman.
With the vote over, the House is refocusing its attention on other issues, namely the federal budget. But the unglamorous work continues behind the scenes to lay the groundwork for the impending impeachment hearings, interviews, depositions, issuing subpoenas, and a little mental preparation as well.
We're negotiating, and Republicans and Democrats in the same room. I think it's what divisions there are, what problems we're having are related to philosophy, and certainly not the President's problems.
After conceding the hearings were out of his hands, the President continues to go about the work of the country. Although 31 members of his own party voted with the Republicans yesterday, it was less than expected. Hardly a silver lining in the cloud that now hangs over the White House.
You can never be encouraged when something happens of the historic gravity of having a vote that actually begins something that could lead to the impeachment, actually the removal of a president of the United States.
A new CBS News poll shows a slim majority of Americans still disagree with moving forward with an impeachment hearing, but that number is growing smaller. Over the next few weeks, while campaigning in their home districts, both sides will be jockeying for advantage. Impeachment hearings could come as early as a week after the November 3rd elections, giving hardly anyone a chance to even catch their breath. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
It was quite a show outside Ken Starr's home this morning. Nearly half a dozen people dressed in pilgrim clothing showed up as Starr was leaving for work. The stakeout was organized by filmmaker Michael Moore of Roger and Me fame. He told Starr that he's found a cheaper way to do a witch hunt.
Congress likely will approve a bill to temporarily keep the government running while negotiations continue on more than a half dozen different spending bills. Congress had planned to adjourn today for the rest of the year. Negotiations continue between Congress and the White House. It's seen as unlikely that a government shutdown will occur, though, because members of both parties are anxious to finish up their work and return home to campaign for the November 3rd elections.
An emergency farm aid package could be ready by midnight. Now, on Wednesday, President Clinton vetoed a $60 billion ag appropriations bill, saying the $4.2 billion in relief was not enough. Clinton instead prefers the $7.2 billion package proposed by Iowa Senator Tom Harkin and South Dakota Senator Tom Daschle. The money would provide harvest time loans to farmers that allow them to store their crops in the hope that the market will improve.
Another round of talks aimed at getting Yugoslavia's president to end the Kosovo crisis ended earlier today. A U.S. envoy was dispatched to Belgrade yesterday with warnings that time has nearly run out for Yugoslavia's president to comply with UN demands for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, some of Kosovo's ethnic Albanians returned home after their village had been destroyed. They say they feel safer knowing that NATO may come to their rescue.
It's been a busy day for drug agents. This morning, state drug agents were on the scene of a suspected meth lab located just southwest of Adel in Dallas County, and that's where we find News Channel 8's Ann State. She's joining us now live. And Ann, what can you tell us?
Well, Jason, just to get specific, we're in the 2100 block of 330th Street. We're actually off a gravel road. As you can tell, this is a very rural area. Earlier this morning, I'm told around 8:30, 9:30 perhaps,